The only people that win in life are the ones who take the risk. And whether you like it or not, you're going to have to take some risk at some point in your life if you want to be wealthy or if you want to be rich. And if you are at that point in your life where you are thinking whether you should take the risk or not, my advice for you is to just take it. Now, I know that gambling is kind of like taking the risks without even thinking about the consequences of it. I don't want you to do that, okay? I don't want you to gamble. I don't want you to like just put everything and quit everything without actually like thinking about the whole process and actually looking into calculating what kind of risk you're putting yourself into. But in general, taking the risk is something that you should be doing if you really want to be rich or if you really want to be wealthy in life. And I will be talking about why really this is the case and how it has helped me in general as myself, as a nurse making like $60,000 a year to now making six figures and investing and living my dream life, and how this has helped me get to where I am right now. First of all, I think that growth really comes from the discomfort. And whether this is like something that you're pursuing in your career, whether it's like moving to a different city or starting a business, side hustle, getting out of your comfort zone is really the first step of growth. And I know that we have been conditioned to always like take the easy way, the easy route, and also to stay in that little bubble and be comfortable. But I have found that really like everything that you want and everything that you are searching for and all your potential really is outside that bubble, outside that circle. So if you step out of that zone, step out of that discomfort, that's when you grow the most. And investing kind of like is the same principle. If you play it safe, if you're just keeping your money all the time, if you're putting it under your mattress, if you are not, investing it, if you're not taking the bet of like putting it in the stock market or in real estate or in a business, it's not really gonna grow. Like, think about it. Like, when I was a new grad nurse, I was very risk averse. And the reason why I said that is because I saved and saved and saved and saved all my hard-earned money throughout the years that I was working as a new grad nurse. I remember when I moved out of my hometown and moved to a different city, I had about $30,000 saved in my savings account. And at that time, I even kept it in a traditional bank because I thought that was safe. And all throughout those years that I saved that, I did not get anything out of the money that I put in. I think that, playing it safe, being comfortable, it's not really going to help you grow. And going back to that story, I don't think I am the person that I am today if I had not moved out of my parents' house, if I had not take the risk of moving to a different city. I remember, this experience very, very well because I had a sister-in-law who gave me a card for my birthday. And it was the best compliment ever when she told me that my best trait is that I'm not afraid to take risks. I moved from my parents' house to a different city all by myself, and I did not know anybody from that city. So I decided to just like kind of like follow my intuition, follow where growth is something that I could achieve professionally and also like personally. So it was really, really scary. And I am so proud of myself for doing that because had I not done that, I don't think that I would be where I am right now. I don't think I would even be a nurse practitioner by now. So I was really proud of myself for getting out of that comfort zone, getting out of the comfort of being close to my family, getting everything that I need, having a stable job, to moving to a place that I am not familiar with. But I learned so much from living by myself. I learned a lot about, like sustaining myself like independently. I was paying my bills. It was the first time that I was paying my own bills. I remember taking food out all the time, learning how to cook, learning how to clean the house, learning how to take care of things. because of that experience. And I learned so much from it. And I'm so thankful that I actually did that, because I have grown so much in my 20s from that move, and at the same time from taking that job. And this all boils down to me really pushing myself out of that comfort zone. And another thing about like comfort zone is that I feel that a lot of us don't really grow if we are hindered by safe, being comfortable. We're missing out a lot in life if we're not risking, if we're not pushing ourselves out of the comfort zone. The other thing why you need to be taking the risk when it comes to like life in general and also investing is that every decision in life, whether you do something or not do something, has a risk. Like it has an inherent risk associated to it. So like not taking that step to get out of that comfort zone, we think that we're avoiding failure, but actually like not even doing anything has its own risks. If I had failed to move out of my parents' house or even moved to a different city, or if I had not invested my money in the stock market, I think that I would be stuck in the same place and be stuck with that, idea or that question, like, what if? And that what if question is really one of those things that really, really hurts, because you are stuck with that regret of not pursuing what you think would have been your potential. And this is why I'm very, very, very encouraging when it comes to like people wanting to start their own businesses, starting their own side hustle, even like pursuing different ventures in their life. Because what if it works out, right? What if the things that you thought that it's not going to happen would happen? Like we always are kind of like pessimistic when it comes to like our life, when it comes to our decisions. Like what if this is the worst decision that I'm gonna make? What if like moving to a different city is gonna be bad for me? But if you kind of switch your thinking to what if it actually works out? What if it is the best thing that you have ever done? So you have to also think that like not doing anything is also a risk in itself. When it comes to investing, a lot of people that I know who have grown up in kind of a poor family, in a sense that they're not very well off, I think that a lot of them have the fear of investing because they're scared of losing money. I had a talk one time with one of my coworkers, and she makes a lot of money, and she just told me that she has so much cash saved up because she doesn't want to put it anywhere where she's going to lose the money. And I think it all kind of stems from her childhood growing up in a third world country, and like being one of the many, many siblings. And growing up, she's always been so protective of her money because she associates money with hard work. And if she works so hard, she's not going to let money just kind of go away. So she is a good saver, and this is a problem for many, many nurses that I know. So if you're one of those people like who really just wants to save and save, I really encourage you to think that not investing your money and just saving it also has its own risk. You are literally like losing the value of your money just by saving it. You are losing money in a sense that, with inflation, meaning that the prices of the goods go up as the days and years go by. The value of the money you're holding right now is not going to be the same value as it is now 10, 20 years from now. So if you're holding cash, that is really a risk that you are undertaking, whether you like it or not. So I think that there's really no such thing as a risk-free life. We really need to take what I call calculated risk if you're one of those people who is very risk averse and scared of like taking risk. There's a way to kind of go about that. Another thing why you should be taking risk is that, the best rewards often comes from the greatest risk. Now, I'm not going to tell you to just put everything in cryptocurrency or in something that's very speculative. But if you think about like the people that you really admire whether they're like, entrepreneurs, celebrities, even like world leaders, like they all took the risk to get to where they're at today. And those risks could include like risk of failing, risk of being rejected, risk of like losing money. And they always say that the people who are the most successful and who are kind of like at the top of their game right now have hit rock bottom at some point in their life, because they really took the risk and they learned from it, and then they like recovered from it. And so that is why they're where they're at right now. And I think about like those celebrities who really took the risk of losing everything and really, really poor at the early stages of their career. And then the risk of being rejected by producers and everything, like they really took on those risks. We need to really think that the best things are right outside our comfort zones. I had like this little risk pyramid right here where I talk about like assets in the stock market and what you should be investing in, and how the higher the risk, the higher the reward there would be. And the lower the risk, the lower the reward there will be. So, I mean, the higher the risk that you take on, the higher the chances of you making money. Look at like people who do trading, who do options trading, like the risk of them losing money is very high, but at the same time, the risk or like the chances of them making a lot of money is also very high. Is a way where you can kind of like find yourself in the middle and find a place where you feel comfortable and be able to still risk, but at the same time you're not losing your sanity over like doing that risk. So really, it's what I was telling earlier. It's really calculated risk. It's really the key to success, in my opinion. And I used to be very so my whole thing is I used to be very risk averse at first, and then I became risk tolerant to the point of like gambling. And I know I have never talked about this before, and I probably would have never, bring it up, but I really want to be transparent with you. But I had like a gambling problem before, which kind of is probably one of the factors why I was living paycheck to paycheck and really bad with money. I remember like, oh my gosh, like this is so embarrassing. And I don't know if you're going to judge me for like saying this to you, but I remember going to the casino before by myself, driving to the casino and playing slots. It's really, really bad. And at that time, I knew that I had a gambling problem, because my idea of like a day off before is actually going to the casino and playing the slot machine. Even that is a problem. Like looking back, like I really not regret. It is a lesson, I guess, that, that I did that, but I became very risk tolerant at that time. So I went from risk averse to risk tolerant to now really finding that place where I make calculated risks and taking on risks that it actually feels good for me, and risk to where I can sleep better at nighttime. This episode or this video or this podcast is not really meant for you to really dive into like things that you have no idea what you're getting yourself into without a plan. I think that like when I talk about taking calculated risk, it's really about being intentional, informed, and strategic about the risks that you're going to be taking. So whether this involves like you moving out of your parents' house, moving to a different city, investing in the stock market, it all involves kind of like preparation and the knowledge. That way you can make the best decision for yourself and make that, calculated risk. When I talk about investing in the stock market, I talk about this a lot in my podcast episodes. I talk about why stock market investing is one of my favorite way of investing in this video right here that you can check out. And the reasoning for that is because it's something that I can do on the side while I'm working my full-time job. I have learned how stock market investing works. I understand my risk tolerance now when it comes to like investing. And I was able to really build a system in a portfolio to where I feel comfortable sleeping at night, knowing that even if I lose money short term, I know that I have a longer vision when it comes to my investment goals. So when you take risks, make sure that you're educating yourself first on how this works. Set up a plan, understand really your risk tolerance when like doing it, and then really setting clear goals as to what you really want in the long term. This kind of comes back to other aspects of your life, whether it's investing in the stock market or actually like making big decisions in your life. I have come across like this really big thing in my career right now to where I applied for a really good job, like a really prestigious job at my dream hospital, and I got it. But the only thing is that it is many hours away from where I live. And feel that, had I been the risk tolerant person that I am before, I would have taken this. And I know it's very contradictory to say that I did not take this job and I did not take this risk, but I actually became intentional to where I looked up, okay, so how much is it going to cost to move to that location? How much is daycare going to cost, because we don't have anybody who's going to be taking care of our kids when we move up there? What is going to be the flexibility when it comes to starting a new job, right? Like my daughter is going into kindergarten. And so I think that I need to be in a place where it's more flexible for me to be able to, be there for her as she's starting school. And yeah, so like there's a lot of things that you have to consider when it comes to taking risk. And so even though like that example may be contradictory to me, like telling you to take the risk, I want you to take a calculated risk instead, not to just like make big decisions in life without being informed, without really setting clear goals of what you want long term, and at the same time planning like on how you can like go through this like big decision in your life. So I think that most people who are successful, who are rich, who are wealthy, who are living their best lives, they're not necessarily fearless to where they would just take all the risks that they want in their life, right? A lot of them are people who have learned from their mistakes and now they're taking calculated risks. And I think that that's what I'm trying to get with you in this video, is to take calculated risks. And when it comes to investing, there are some things or tips that I want to tell you on how you can be very mindful, very intentional when it comes to your investing journey and taking the risk of investing your hard-earned money as nurses. So number one is to really start small. You don't have to invest like $10,000, $20,000 when it comes to investing your money, right? Like you have to start small, maybe just like automating your investments, like $50, $100 every paycheck, while you're like learning the basics of stock market investing. And by the way, a little plug, if you want to learn how stock market investing can help you reach financial freedom and how you can invest in the stock market, I actually have a class coming up and it's going to be live on next month. And I'm going to teach you how to invest in the stock market and how you can also work less while living your dream life and retiring early and giving your life more options. So if you want to register for this class, just sign up in the show notes or in the description. It's going to be there. It's going to be free. It's live. And I'm going to be there like talking with you. So if you have any questions about investing, you can actually I can answer them for you. But yeah, so starting small is really one of the things that you can do to be a calculated risk taker. Second thing is diversify. So spread your investments across different assets. Like I always talk about index fund investing. I love index fund investing. If you want to learn more about index fund investing, I also have a blog post about it in the link below. but essentially it is a diversified investment in itself. So that way, when you lose money investing in one thing, you're not losing money all at once. So you have to diversify your investments. Next thing is think long term. When I say investing, and I always say this every single time I talk to my audience, every time I talk about investing, you have to think of long term. And if you're going to be investing in the stock market, you have to think like 5, 10, 20 years from now. And stock market investing, as far as like, like long-term investment, may not be something for you if you want to make money right away. If you want to make money in a year, if you want to double your investment in a year or 2 years, then stock market investing may not be for you. So you have to really think long-term when it comes to investing. If you want to make quick money, that is trading, not investing. There's a big difference. So unless you're very risk tolerant when it comes to that, go for it. Like, go do it. But yeah, think long term. Fourth thing is really educating yourself. I think that a lot of us are scared because of the lack of knowledge or not knowing. It's really the fear of the unknown whenever we're scared of something. Like, for example, you're on top of the mountain, and like it's dark at the bottom, and you are told to jump, and all you can see is like darkness and just like plain nothingness. So you may be scared of jumping because you don't know what's down there, right? Like it could be not a very high mountain. There could be a ledge that is just right under there that you don't know. And so I think that a lot of us are really scared of the unknown. And I think educating ourselves, having the knowledge, can help us become less fearful of taking risks and really educating yourself. Education. We are at a time right now where we really have to educate ourselves. Get your education, get your bags, because this is power, and this is what's going to help you become successful in the long run. And lastly, I want you to really look at yourself and the potential that you have within yourself. And I really encourage you to take that risk to reach that potential. And the sooner you start investing, the sooner that you start believing that everything is limitless, whether it's like making money, investing your money, building wealth, even your skills, it's limitless. You're going to be pushing yourself more to be doing all these things. Yeah, take the risk. So really the bottom line of this whole episode is really me encouraging you to take calculated risk in your life. And I really need to get you out of that comfort zone. If you're feeling very comfortable where you're at right now, it's good to stay in comfortable places at some point. But if you really want to grow, if you really want to make money, if you really want to like push yourself out and see how much potential you have, you really need to take on the risk. But the key here is really taking risks like strategically and really arming yourself with the knowledge and trusting in your ability to grow and being patient, because most oftentimes these rewards that I talked about, these great things outside of your potential, they take time. It takes time to get to them. And so like you have to be very patient as well. There is a saying that goes, you miss out 100% of the shots that you don't take. And I think that that is so profound. And I saw this actually in one of the movies, Cinderella Story. Have you like watched that? That is like one of my favorite comfort movies. Actually, the quote in the movie goes, never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. And they're kind of the same thing. And I think that that is so powerful, because whether you like it or not, like you're really missing out on things that you are not taking the risk of. So take that shot in life and investing and just watch the possibilities and your potential unfold. Thank you so much for listening. And I hope that this episode or this video is helpful for you. If you like this video and you want to learn more about investing in the stock market, building wealth, reaching financial freedom as nurses, then feel free to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell. That way you can get, more notifications from me. It also helps out the channel so I can reach more nurses like you who wants to reach financial freedom. And as usual, stay hydrated, stay invested. I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.